Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, a show where we get your answers for all of your stock-related queries. Remember, viewers, you can write to us on the number that will be flashing on your screen in a short while from now. Do remember each time you write to us, mention your name, the stock that you're looking to invest in, mention that name as well. And if you're already invested in the stock, mention the buy price, the quantity, as well as the time horizon. And that way, our experts will be able to help you better. Talking about experts, today on the technicals, we have Dhwani Patel, who's joined us in the show. While on the fundamentals, we have Rajesh Agarwal, and we will start taking your queries then, which are already pouring in. The first query that is coming in from Krish, and his query is for you, Dhwani. He is holding Linde India, about 11 shares at a price of around 8,400 rupees per share. For the 8 to 12 month period, how does Linde India look to you?
Absolutely. First of all, congratulations. He's already sitting on some gains over here, and these are some good gains that we are seeing on this particular counter. Now, talking about the recent chartical structure, we've seen a sideways move in this particular counter where the bottom base formation is around 8,150 levels, and on the higher side we are seeing a resistance coming in on 9,800, 9,900 mark. So in my suggestion, please hold on to the position. You can exit it somewhere around 9,800 to 9,900 mark. Keep a stop loss on the lower side over here at 8,800 now.
All right, moving on to the next one. And Rajesh, this query is coming from Reema from Pune, and she wants to know, is this a good time to enter Tarsan products? She's looking to make a fresh investment here with the next 2 to 3 years investment horizon.
I don't think it's a good idea to enter into Tarsans at these high levels of market. Any correction in the market would be bad for Tarsans too. As far as the company is concerned, they are into a low margin product. Doing hospital supplies, and the margins are very low. Here they are talking about expansion and all, but that would take some time to really convert into numbers. So at this point of time, it's a avoid from us.
All right, let's take this next query then. This one is coming in from Prathme. She's writing to us from Mumbai. This one is for you, Rajesh. She's been actually writing to us for quite a while, but I don't know if you track this one. Exicom Telesystem, do you track this one? He has 125 shares at 231.
No, I'm sorry, we don't track this.
All right, Dhwani, have you seen the charts of this one by any chance? Exicom Tele?
If I'm right, the current market price of this particular one is at around 467 levels. There's not much of a technical data available over here. It seems like a recent listing over here. But as far as it's trading above the listing gains over here, and you're sitting already on certain gains, I'll suggest you to hold on to the position. Keep a stop loss on the lower side over here on trailing stop loss strategy that we are coming to is 425.
Right, Dhwani, once again coming to you. This query is from Saranya from Chennai, and she has a query on Asian Paints. She's holding 100 shares. Buy price is 2,937 rupees. Is that a hold or average at this point in time?
I would say sit on to it. Do not hold. Do not average at this particular one. Hold on to it. The stock is also showing that there's a bottom formation over here around 2840 levels. So keep that one as an ideal stop loss and hold on to this position. But it's not the right time to average into this one.
All right, this next one is coming in from Akshay from Bangalore. He has 200 shares of SBI Cards, Rajesh, which he's purchased at the levels of around, he's not given the levels, but he said he's holding it since the year 2020, and he's suffered approximately 10% loss on his holding for SBI Card. Now he wants to know whether it makes sense to book loss and move to Poonawalla FinCorp, or for the matter of fact, L&T Finance, or stay put with SBI Card, hoping that he will be able to recover some loss and someday he will make some gains in this one. What's your take, Rajesh?
See, out of the three names which have been said, I think SBI Card and Poonawalla, they are good to be held for a long-term portfolio. Yes, it's unfortunate that the gentleman has suffered losses in such a good company because the entry level was maybe wrong, but the market went into tailspin after his purchase. That's a different thing. But going forward with the kind of numbers this company is going to give in future because of the increased card spend and the only listed card players in the space, I think SBI Card can be held for a target of around 800 plus level in the medium term. As far as Poonawalla is concerned, any new money which one wants to deploy can deploy in Poonawalla. Every quarter they are coming out with very good numbers. Every quarter the AUM is going up. NIMs are good, asset quality is good. I think this company can move to around 20% more from current market price, this 500 plus levels in the next 18 months.
Right. Moving on to the next counter, and Rajesh, this query is on RVNL, wherein Radha from Bangalore is holding 170 shares. Buy price is 600 rupees. What to do in this one? Because this stock, and along with all the other railway counters, are already on the roll. But what's your take on RVNL?
See, you said it right. All the railway counters are on the roll, and now they are running at a high speed, like a bullet train. And it's very difficult to predict where they will stop. But as far as fundamentals are concerned, I think they are overstretched at this point of time, despite the fact that there are talks of new railway infrastructure coming up, new wagons being added, new coaches being added. But still, somehow I feel when the valuations are stretched, it would be better and prudent to either book partial profit or keep a strict stop loss in these kind of counters.
10 points away now from the record high levels, but let me take the next query then. This one is coming in from RK Jalan, and this one is for you, Rajesh. He's a retiree, but he is an investor as well in the markets, he's saying, but he wants to know about TV18. He's holding about 64,000 shares at a price of 51 rupees per share, and the next one is Yes Bank. 31,000 shares at a price of 26.5 rupees per share. What's your take on both of these? Do you think as an investee, these counters are worth staying put for the long term?
See, depends on person to person. Since the gentleman is a retiree and such a big quantity, I would suggest to be cautious on both of them. Because they are like high risk, high return sort of counters, and in the long run, things may turn around as predicted or may not turn around. As far as Yes Bank is concerned, the numbers have been good in the last 2-3 quarters. The operations are recovering, asset quality is improving, and although SBI, they have denied the fact that any approval has come from RBI for stake sale from SBI today as per media report, but still somehow down the line that would happen, if not today, then tomorrow. So if somebody is ready to take that kind of risk of around maybe 20% downside, then one can continue to hold. TV18, again, it's a good story with a lot of news channels and business channels under its belt. The numbers have been improving. GEC segment is doing well. So for a long term, yes, both of them can be held. But since you are a retiree, please keep your risk profile in mind and go for such kind of counters in such a big quantity.
Right, Rajesh, once again coming to you actually, because this is one more query on the railway counters, and Venkati has been writing to us for quite some days now, and today we got a chance to take his query. He's looking to invest 4 lakh rupees, but he's specifically looking out for some railway plays out there. He wants to stay invested for the next 2 years. So at this point, any of your 2 top bets from the railway counters, or would you strictly avoid so after the run-up? And if you can suggest him some other counters as well.
See, Srishti, run-up has been there in railway counters, there's no doubt on that. But still, I think there are 2-3 counters where one can take a bet for a longer term, of course, because if some correction happens, everything will go down. But if you are ready to see some sort of cut in M2M and continue for 2 years, I can suggest 2 counters. One is IRCTC, which has not run quite a lot in the recent past as compared to other railway counters. All the 4 divisions, be it ticketing, rail near, catering, or tourism, are doing well. It's a debt-free company. They have tied with Zomato, going for full coach booking, and they have said that they are going for outside catering also. I think this company can give very good returns in the long term. And the other one will be TaxRail. Despite the fact that it is in one of the largest wagon manufacturers in the country, having good order book, gone for expansion, raised funds, it has not run up the way other wagon manufacturers like Titagarh or Jupiter has run up. So I think there is quite a space left in Texmac, maybe at 340, 350 odd levels in the near future is quite possible, maybe around in the next 6 months or so.
All right, you know, Rajesh, since you're talking about the space, and we also had Neelam who asked us this query, but I just want to know for you, for an understanding from a viewer's point of view, or even for our point of view, understanding, you know, Now everyone's talking about PSU in anticipation of the budget. I don't know last time when have we actually focused so much on PSU just ahead of budget, be it defense, be it rail, be it fertilizer, be it chemicals, all of those packs. Everyone wants to know which is the right bet to take just ahead of budget. At one point in time, the only like bright spot or one of the sectors that used to always run up ahead of the budget was the fertilizer sector. Now we've seen this change in viewer sentiment. Could you only attribute this to the way the stocks have actually run up of late, or do you think fundamentally also it warrants one to be that bullish on these counters despite that heavy run up it's all seen?
See, both your points stand correct because one, the expectation of budget, and the second, fundamentally there have been changes. For example, in railways, a lot of new orders has come up, not only for wagons, coaches. Infrastructure development is being done, new lines are being developed, DFC is being done. All those things are being happening in the railways, and we have seen new coaches order, new wagons order coming up. Even the receivable days of companies have gone down. The payments are being done in a swift manner. So these things have happened in railways, and that's the reason railway stocks have run up quite a lot. But as I said, some of them have run quite ahead of their fundamentals, and any consolidation or correction would take a good amount of time to reach the entry point. So it would be very prudent to have a cautious approach on this. Maybe a fertilizer pack would be a better story at this point of time, or a chemical pack which have not run up quite a lot. It had underperformed rather. Chemical has underperformed in the recent past because of various reasons. I think chemicals is bottoming out where we can find value in Lakshmi Organics, Clean Science, maybe ACI, Phenotex Chemical. These are some of the names in chemicals sector which one can have a look. In fertilizers, we are very bullish on Coromandel International and Deepak Fertilisers.
Right, so that's the view coming in on the PSU pack, be it the defense pack or the fertilizers pack. Dhwani, let me ask you, the PSU sector as a whole, has this been a bright spot for you as well? And are you seeing signs on chartically that these signs or this up move will be sustained? Because see, we've seen a drop in these PSU counters, and the drop that the PSU counters actually witnessed was quite painful for some of them who were already sitting on some profits or mild bit of profits.
Looking at the overall Nifty PSE index over here, first of all, it's into a bullish trajectory and I don't see any downfall coming in. Definitely there can be a halt in the trend, which is also healthy over here. But then there is no structural breakdown that we are seeing over here in the overall PSE index as a whole. And talking about stock specific, there are certain stocks which are on our radar technically as well. We are looking up at PFC and REC in particular, where the stocks are nearing the breakout levels. And once talking about PFC in particular, we see a 555 level giving a breakout where we've been hovering around since last 2 days. The stock will be ready for the next rally upwards on PFC, and similarly for REC as well. We are seeing that the stock is near the resistance levels, and we are nearing a breakout around 620 levels into the same. So these two stocks are particularly in radar over here. And apart from that, talking about on the defensive side as well, BEL and HAL, they are also nearing breakout. So there is a certain halt that I can say which we are seeing over here in PSE technically, but there is no structural breakout. They are near a resistance from where we will be seeing further breakouts and rally coming in. If not immediate buy, if someone is looking up at in today's session, we are seeing good action coming in over here on Coal India side. There is a subdued momentum that is building up in this particular counter. Having gone long from here, keeping a stop loss of 480, I am definitely eyeing for an upside over here of 525.
All right then, moving on, and Dhwani, once again coming to you, this query is from a viewer named Dinesh, and he wants your take on Best Agro. He's holding 500 shares, his buy price is 688 rupees. Dhwani wants to hold this for the next 3 to 5 months, but would you advise so to do that?
I would not suggest to hold on, for the reason being that the stock is seeing a certain resistance over here. The chartical structure is also on the bearish side. So my suggestion in this particular counter is clearly to exit.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Best Agro. On that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, we'll continue taking your queries. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Buy Now Sell Now, and let's keep it going with all your stock related queries. And the Dhwani, next query is for you. Quickly, if you can help us with your take on TaTa Elxsi. When Thomas George is holding 200 shares, buy price is 6,000 rupees a piece. What to do in this one? He is at a decent profit in this counter.
In my suggestion, I would suggest that book your profits in this particular counter at current levels, given that the overall trend of this one on the short-term basis that we are seeing it since December 2023 is on the lower side. We are seeing a lower high and a lower low formation continuing in this particular counter. So you're sitting at profits, book in the profits and switch over.
All right, this one's coming from Leon. He's writing to us from Trichur and he wants to know about Power Grid. He's already entered into the counter. But he wants to know whether he can buy some more for a period of 1 year. Very puzzling query looks like it. But Power Grid, Dhwani, looks like our viewer has already purchased Power Grid, wants to add some more in his portfolio and keep that holding for the next 1 year. What's your take?
Yeah, absolutely. One can definitely hold on to it. The stock is already into an upward trajectory and we'll be seeing further upside. On the short-term basis, which I can comment for this particular month, as per the derivative data, 355 is what I'm looking up at on the higher side. The momentum is over here a little subdued. So this target would be for this particular month itself. Keeping a stop loss on the lower side, I would suggest, given the stock breaks 330 levels, we'll see certain profit taking coming in. But till the time that level is intact, you can hold on to it for 355.
All right, then the next query, Rajesh, is coming from Vamsi from Vijayawada. Guess he's writing to us for the first time. Wants your help with investments made in TVS supply chains. He is already holding 200 shares. Buy price is 176 rupees. But can he hold this for the long term? Is this stock worth holding as well?
Yes, of course, the company has been doing very well. The numbers have been good. I think that going forward with the kind of demand scenario in the economy, this company is going to do well. Keep a target of 220 odd rupees and continue to hold.
All right, not sure if you tracked this one, but Satya wants to know prospect of the pet food industry. He wants to know about Frieden Pharma. Have you tracked this one by any chance, Rajesh? He wants to know if you've tracked this counter. Then what's your view if you've not tracked any other stock that you know who's into the pet food category?
No, we don't track this company, and I don't think any other company is into this in a major way.
All right. Anything that you can note on the charts for this one by any chance? Dhwani, Frieden Pharma?
I'm sorry, I'm not tracking this one technically as well.
All right. So let me give this a skip. Let me take the next query then. And this one is coming in from Narsimha, who's writing to us from Hyderabad. He wants to know entry level for CG Power as well as Ireda, and is it good to enter, or any other stocks that you think are better opportunity that one can look at to enter in? Dhwani, for you.
All right. Okay. Talking about CG Power over here, I would suggest wait for a dip over here. When you're getting a dip in CG Power around 715 to 720 levels, that would be a good time to enter into this particular counter. As of now, we are witnessing certain profit taking in today's session. Also, the stock is over here right now losing about 2%. We'll see a dip around the same levels, 715 to 720. That's a good time to enter into this particular counter. And the next stock that he asked about was ADA. In ADA as well, today's dip is actually a good opportunity to enter into, keeping a stop loss on the lower side over here in this particular counter at 210. You're getting any dip around 220 levels as well. You can add into this particular counter.
What about Ireda?
Yes, about ADA only. ADA, you need to look out for any dip around 220 levels, and keeping a stop loss on the lower side at 210, one can enter into.
All right, then moving on to the next query. And Rajesh, your advice on Protean eGov. This query is from Abhijit from Bangalore, and he wants a medium-term outlook on this particular stock. Not much time since the stock got listed on the stock exchanges.
one of the best companies to hold in a long-term portfolio, I would say, keep a target of around 14-15% CAGR return for the next 2-3 years. Doing very well, the numbers have been good, government orders are doing well. I think everything goes in favor of this company. It's a buy from our side.
This next query is coming from Dasaradi, who's writing to us from Vijayawada. He has 400 shares of EPL, which he's purchased at levels of 198 rupees per share. Dhwani, he wants to know whether he should book profits in EPL already or should he look to wait for a target of around 250 rupees per share. What's your take on EPL?
We're already trading around 238 levels in this particular counter, and I would suggest that book in profits in this one at the current levels, given that we've already seen that a certain resistance around the same level was seen earlier in 2023 July. So in my opinion, it's time to book your profits. We are almost near your target price of 250, so rather be conservative and take home.
All right, this one is coming from Rajiv. He wants to buy Sterling Tools. He wants to know at what levels should he buy this one for the short term, Dhwani? Sterling Tools.
If I'm not wrong, the stock is trading somewhere around 420 levels over here. And talking about the structure, we are witnessing over here a consolidated move in the short term. I would suggest if you are, I didn't get if he's holding the position or he wants to take a fresh entry over here.
Fresh position into this counter. So he wants to know whether he should enter right now into this counter and also should he stay put with this for the shorter term.
For fresh entry, I would not suggest entering into this particular counter because we are near the resistance zone. For 35 to 440 is the resistance zone for this particular counter, which has been acting out since almost more than a year of a chart structure over here now. So it's not time for a fresh entry. In case if you are holding on to it, I would suggest book your profits at this particular level.
All right, actually a lot of technical queries. Let me take this one. Is coming from Satish, but he wants some fundamental ones. So for you, Rajesh, he's considering about doing an SIP for a period of 3 to 5 years. From moderate to high is his risk reward. He wants to know which stocks do you think that makes sense for him to do SIP for, and he's planning to do this SIP for his wife.
See, doing a SIP for a longer term would be better if you choose Nifty 50 stock or the large cap ones. And we have suggested SIP stocks to our clients like Reliance, HDFC Bank, and Lasa. These are the 3 best stocks to hold for a longer period of time, 10-15 years down the line. You can do a SIP in this and continue to hold.
All right, do SIPs in the large cap for the longer term in the Nifty 50 stocks is what Rajesh has to advise on that particular front. But we also have Aveni, who's a senior citizen, who wants to know about BSE as well as CDSL. Actually, this query has been answered last week alone. Let me take this one coming in from Vinod. He's writing to us from Gurgaon. He has PVR Inox 150 shares at a price of 1,378 as well as RBL Bank at the levels of around 227 rupees per share. Rajesh, what's your take on PVR as well as RBL Bank stocks that he can actually stay put with for the longer term? Should he look to add some more of both?
See, RBL Bank is trying to improve their performance and I think one can continue to hold for a target of 280 rupees. The numbers have been better in the quarter-on-quarter rate we see. Asset quality is slightly improving, NIMs are improving, and once anything happens on the interest rate front, not only RBL but other banking stocks will also run. So it's a hold from our side. As far as PVR is concerned, the number this quarter is not going to be that good because of the fact that the content pipeline was very slow. Even the movies which have been released, be it Bade Miyan Chote Miyan or others, have been super flops. I would say they have put their pressure on the stock. And the IPL was there. So the content was low, footfall was low. The only positive point in PVR Inox is the major revenue came from the food and beverages side. That's the saving grace. Otherwise, being in the largest multiplex chain with the largest number of screens in the country, they are closing down some underperforming screens, adding some more in the better areas, especially in the southern part of the country. I think for somebody thinking of holding this stock for a longer period of time, by longer period I mean at least 12 to 18 months, one can have a target of 1700 odd rupees. But let me tell you, this is a very high beta counter and it starts moving either way very violently. So unless and until you have a high risk appetite, avoid this.
All right, we are just counting that to the record high levels for the Nifty. But before that, let's just cut across to Prime Minister Modi, who's actually addressing in Russia.
लखपति दीदी बनाना, शायद आपके लिए ये शब्द भी नया होगा। भारत में जो विमेन सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप चल रहे हैं गांव में, हम उनको इतना एम्पावर करना चाहते हैं, उतना स्किल डेवलपमेंट करना चाहते हैं, इतना डाइवर्सिफिकेशन करना चाहते हैं कि हम चाहते हैं कि मेरे तीसरे टर्म में गांव की वो जो गरीब महिलाएं हैं उसमें 3 करोड़ महिलाएं लखपति दीदी बने, यानी उनकी सालाना इनकम 1 लाख रुपए से ज्यादा हो और हमेशा के लिए हो। बहुत बड़ा लक्ष्य है, लेकिन जब आप जैसे साथियों के आशीर्वाद होते हैं ना, तो बड़े से बड़े लक्ष्य बहुत आसानी से पूरे भी होते हैं। और आप सब जानते हैं, आज का भारत जो लक्ष्य ठान लेता है वो पूरा करके ही रहता है। आज भारत वो देश है जो चंद्रयान को चंद्रमा पर वहां पहुंचाता है जहां दुनिया का कोई देश नहीं पहुंच सका।
All right, that's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressing the Indian diaspora at Russia. But while he was speaking, Nifty hit a fresh record high level once again. 24,401 was conquered on an intraday basis, as you can see it on your screen. Now we're a tad bit below those levels, but nevertheless, new day, new number coming in for the Nifty, scaling past above the 24,401 rupee mark on the indices. But on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of a Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, we will take some more stock queries, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now, and Maruti Suzuki today is the one that's stealing the show and actually has lent support to the markets as well. We've hit a fresh record high level on an intraday basis, 24,401 conquered for the Nifty. Right now, we are a tad bit below that level, but nevertheless, we've hit a fresh record high level on an intraday basis. But let's continue taking your queries then, and this next one that is coming in is from Chandrasekharan. He has 150 shares of Zen Technology at an average price of 1,120 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should hold on for the 6 months or 1 year period, or should he continue to look at some other counters instead. What's your take on this, Dhwani? Should he stay put with Zen Technologies? 1,120 is a buy price.
He's already sitting on some profits over here, and as of now, I'm seeing that since last 4 days, we are seeing certain profit taking coming in this particular counter over here. So in my suggestion, it's time to book your profits over here and switch over to the next counter.
Technologies, book your profits is what Dhwani has to say. Let's take the next query then, and this one is coming in from Poonam. And Poonam wants to know about Anmol Limited. 56 is a buy price, as well as TVS Supply Chain. 193 is a buy price for this one. What should she do, Rajesh? I don't know if you track Anmol closely, but TVS Supply Chain?
See, Anmol we don't track, but TVS Supply Chain, as we discussed sometimes back, it's a very good company to hold on for the long term, doing very well. Numbers have been improving, and we believe that the numbers will work further from here. So yes, one can continue to work.
All right. The next query that I have is coming in from Zenith Kausar, and she wants to know what Nalco 104 is the buy price. Should she stay put with Nalco? What's your take, Dhwani? Given the fact that this one is also dependent on what happens to the commodity cycle globally, what strategy should Zenith Kausar use for Nalco, and what sort of a target keep in mind?
So as of now, we are seeing that the stock is facing certain resistance around 210 levels, and we've also seen that this one has been acting out since almost May 2024, that we are not able to cross above these levels, and that is where the stock is facing the supply. So from current levels, I would suggest that you exit out from this position and switch over to another one.
Right, with that, let's kickstart with the rapid fire. Then Rajesh, coming to you, Sunita Rai wants to know if Exigo is a good company to look at buying at for the long term right now.
Buying at this point is not suggested. A correction, wait for a correction.
All right, this one is coming in from VS Money, who's writing to us from Coimbatore. Solara Pharma, 1,146 is the buy price. What should he do? He's in loss right now. Dhwani, exit or stay put to recover the losses?
I'm sorry, I'm not tracking this counter, so cannot comment on it.
All right, no problem. This next one is coming from Subramaniam from Chennai. Firstsource Limited at a price of 176 rupees per share. Book profits or stay put for some other targets altogether. What's your take on this one, Dhwani?
I'm sorry, I missed the name of the stock.
Firstsource Limited.
Sorry, these do not fall into the category of the 500, so I'm not tracking on this one.
All right, no problem. This one is coming in from Manjula for you. Then Rajesh, Lemon Tree, 95 rupees. Mahindra Holidays is also what she has, and Indian Hotels also in her portfolio. Does it make sense to stay put with all three of them or look to switch out of any of these?
Switch off of Mahindra Holidays and other two stay put.
All right, this next one is coming in from V. Murli. This one is for you, Rajesh. HBL Power Systems, 523 is the buy price, or rather is the price that he's considering to buy. Does it make sense to stay buy this one right now? Oh, sorry, stay put with this one right now.
Stay put with this counter, target 625.
All right, so that's the word coming in for HBL Power. We have another one coming in from Lingamurthy, who wants to know about Happiest Minds. 830 is the buy price. What's your take on Happiest Minds? Have you tracked this one, Dhwani?
Yes, absolutely. So in my suggestion, you can stay put in this particular counter. The support on the lower side is shifting on the higher range, so hold on to it.
All right, Anant Naik wants to know about GM Breweries. 800 is the buy price, 600 is the buy price of this one. Rajesh, what's your take? Add some more of GM Breweries in the portfolio.
Book profit.
All right, book profits for GM Breweries. This one is coming in from RK, who wants to know about DCX Systems. He wants to know a buy price for this one. Dhwani, what's your take on DCX Systems?
Talking about this one, it's time to book profits into it.
All right, and if someone wants to buy, then Persistent Endurance, you think makes sense?
Yeah, talking about persistence, yes, absolutely. It's a good buy at a particular level. Keep a stop loss at the lower side over here at 4,500. Hold on for higher targets of 5,000.
All right, with that, we come to the end of the rapid fire as well as the query segment. Thank you so much, Dhwani, as well as Rajesh, for joining us on the show, as well as resolving queries, talking about Maruti Suzuki in particular. And viewers, with that, we come to the end of this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. But just a reminder that tomorrow is going to be Women's Special Wednesday, where we will be taking queries from all of our women investors as well as our viewers. So do write to us. But for now, it's a goodbye from me, Cheryl, as well as Shrishti and the team that put the show together.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.